She served the pack in silence for years. No praise, no name, no place. But the night she walked away, the earth woke up. The forest breathed cold mist against her skin. Damp earth pressed through the thin soles of her boots. Every step away from the den felt louder than a howl. She remembered carrying water at dawn, cleaning blood from stone after battles she never fought, standing silent while others feasted first. The trees watched her now. Their shadows stretched like claws across the path. A sharp scent of iron drifted on the wind. Her heart tightened, not from fear of the dark, from the shock of freedom pressing against her ribs. Behind her, the den lay quiet. Too quiet. No farewell call. No command to return. The Alpha stood at the ridge at last. Moonlight cut his shape from the sky. His eyes narrowed as if searching for something misplaced. Not her loyalty. Not her wounds. Only the empty space where her presence once filled the air. The ground trembled. A low growl rolled through the forest. It came not from his throat. It rose from beneath her feet. The soil cracked. Cold light spilled upward. Her breath caught as the forest leaned closer. And the Alpha took his first step toward the truth that waited in the dark beneath her path. The light beneath her feet pulsed once. Then again. It hummed through her bones like a second heartbeat. The forest inhaled sharply. Leaves froze mid-rustle. Even the insects fell silent. She felt the ground recognize her. Warmth climbed her legs despite the cold air. Memories surged without warning. Years of kneeling. Years of obedience carved into muscle and breath. Her palms tingled where scars slept under old skin. Behind her, the Alpha stepped closer. His boots crushed twigs with careless weight. Authority followed him like a scent he never questioned. She did not turn. Her spine straightened on its own. The light cracked the soil wider. Thin line at first. Then a glowing vein stretching between roots and stones. The forest floor split with a low moan. Cold air rushed upward carrying ancient smells. Blood. Rain-soaked fur. Her lungs burned as if the past pressed inside her chest. She remembered nights guarding the outer ring. Snow numbing her fingers. Listening to laughter from the den. She remembered dragging wounded wolves from battlefields. Their blood soaking her sleeves. No thanks. Only orders. The Alpha stopped several steps behind her. His breath sounded uneven now. Confusion edged his dominance. The light climbed higher. It wrapped around her ankles like living smoke. She gasped as the ground shifted. Stone plates slid apart beneath her weight. Roots withdrew as if bowing. Her balance wavered. Strong hands did not reach for her. She steadied herself alone. The forest approved. A deep vibration rolled outward. Trees shuddered. Owls burst from branches in a flurry of wings. The Alpha growled at last. Not a command. Question. She felt it in her back. She answered without words. The glow surged brighter. Images flooded her mind. A circle of wolves under an older moon. A female standing at the center. Not kneeling. Leading. The pack moved as one breath around her. Power hummed in her chest. Felt familiar. Stolen. Buried. The ground rose. Not violently. Deliberately. A platform of stone lifted her higher than the forest floor. Her cloak fluttered in the sudden wind. Moonlight caught the edges of her hair. The Alpha shielded his eyes. Shock rippled through him. The pack emerged from the trees. One by one. Drawn by the sound they pretended not to hear. Their eyes reflected gold and fear. She sensed them before she saw them. Every heartbeat tugged at her awareness. Years of service bound her to them still. But the bond felt different now. Loose. Ready to snap. A voice echoed from below the stone. Not spoken. Felt. It pressed against her ribs. Heavy with age. Heavy with judgment. Her knees threatened to buckle. She held firm. The voice recognized her scars. Counted them. Measured her silence. The Alpha stepped forward again. His snarl carried anger now. And fear. He lifted his chin. Tried to reclaim height he no longer held. The light flared in response. The stone rose another span. Gasps rippled through the pack. She tasted metal on her tongue. Power always carried a price. Her hands clenched. The ground answered. Veins of light raced outward. Encircling the alpha. Encircling the pack. A boundary drawn without mercy. Memories flooded her again. The first time she was told to stay back. The first time her warning went unheard. The night a patrol never returned. Her warning echoing useless in the den. Her breath shook. The stone beneath her warmed further. The voice below grew clearer. It asked what she claimed. Her heart thundered. She claimed nothing aloud. She only stood. The pack shifted uneasily. Some lowered their heads without knowing why. Others bared teeth in instinctive defiance. The alpha roared. The sound cracked against the light and shattered. Silence followed. Oppressive. She felt the forest lean closer. Roots curled tighter beneath the soil. The moon slipped from cloud cover. Its glow aligned with the stone. With her. The voice beneath surged upward. Heat rushed through her veins. Her scars burned. Not with pain. With recognition. She remembered a story whispered once by an elder. A guardian chosen by endurance. By service unseen. By loyalty tested beyond breaking. She had laughed then. Quietly. Because such stories never ended well. The stone vibrated violently. Cracks spidered across its surface. Light poured out like breath held too long. The alpha stumbled back. His dominance shattered into raw disbelief. Pack cried out. Minna. Some in terror. She felt herself changing. Not in body. In weight. In presence. The air bent around her. Every sound sharpened. Every scent layered with meaning. She smelled lies clinging to fur. Smelled fear soaked into pride. The forest accepted her fully now. The voice demanded balance. It demanded reckoning. Her pulse hammered as memories aligned like teeth of a trap. The years she vanished into the background. The nights she guarded while others slept. The obedience that kept the pack alive. The alpha raised his head one last time. His eyes met hers. He finally saw her. Not as a shadow. Not as labor. As something ancient standing above him. The stone surged again. Light erupted outward. The forest roared in response. And deep beneath her feet, something vast began to rise toward the surface, answering the silence she carried for years. The earth groaned as if waking from a long restraint. Roots tore free from stone. Soil lifted in slow waves. The presence beneath her pushed closer to the surface. Not rushing. Not raging. Certain. Her breath came shallow. The air tasted ancient. Like storms trapped in rock. The stone platform cracked along its edges. Light spilled through the fractures. It wrapped around her calves. Around her knees. Warm. Heavy. Claiming. The pack backed away as one body. Paws scraped against dirt. Fur bristled without command. Their instincts recognized what their minds rejected. The alpha stood frozen. His authority hung loose around him. Cloak too large. Too empty. The forest canopy bent inward. Branches creaked like joints stretching after centuries of stillness. Moonlight fractured through the leaves. It painted her in silver and gold. Her heartbeat synchronized with the ground. Each pulse sent ripples through the clearing. She felt every wolf. Their hunger. Their guilt. Their unspoken dependence on the labor they erased. The voice beneath the stone rose again. Closer now. Clearer. It pressed images into her mind. A time before alphas ruled by volume. Before strength meant domination. A circle formed not by fear, but by trust. She felt her throat tighten. Emotion threatened to break her stance. She remained still. The ground respected stillness. The soil split fully now. A massive shape emerged. Not flesh. Not stone. Something between. A spine of glowing mineral rose from the earth. Runes burned along its surface. Old symbols. older meanings. Pack cried out. Some fell to their knees without understanding why. Others turned to flee. Invisible force pinned them in place. Not cruel. Unyielding. The Alpha snarled in protest. His voice cracked mid-sound. The rune spine responded. Light pulsed outward. The snarl dissolved into a raw breath. Fear stripped him bare. She smelled it clearly now. Dark. Bitter. The same fear he ignored in her eyes for years. The presence beneath the stone surged higher. A massive form pressed against the underside of the earth. The ground domed upward. Pebbles rolled away from her feet. Her balance shifted again. The light steadied her, held her upright. She realized then. The force was not lifting her. It was responding to her weight, her endurance, her refusal to collapse. The rune spine cracked open. A deep hollow formed at its center. Inside it burned a living glow. Low, measured, touching. The voice spoke fully at last. Not in words, in certainty. It acknowledged her years of service. Not as obedience, as sacrifice. Her chest tightened painfully. Tears burned her eyes. They did not fall. The pack felt it too. A wave of understanding swept through them. Memories surfaced against their will. Meals eaten while she stood watch. Warm dens while she guarded the perimeter. Battles survived because her warning came early. Shame rippled outward. The Alpha staggered. His knees bent. The ground did not stop him. He fell hard. Dust puffed around his hands. He looked small from above. The rune spine flared brighter. The presence beneath pushed upward again. The earth split fully now. A massive chamber opened beneath the clearing. Light poured out like sunrise from underground. The walls glowed with ancient markings. Claw marks layered over centuries. Proof of guardians long erased from memory. She felt drawn toward the opening. The stone beneath her tilted gently. Inviting, not forcing. Each step closer intensified the heat in her veins. Her scars burned brighter than the runes. They mirrored the symbols in the chamber walls. Her breath caught as recognition settled. She was marked long before she served. Long before she obeyed. The pack watched in silence. No commands filled the air. Only the sound of the earth breathing. The Alpha crawled backward. His eyes never left her. Not from dominance now. From terror. The chamber pulsed. The presence within shifted. A massive shape began to rise from its depths. Not fully revealed. Not yet. She felt its attention settle on her completely. The pressure of it bent the air. Her knees trembled. She stood. The forest leaned closer still. Roots emerged from the ground around the chamber rim. They formed a living boundary. A witness circle. The presence offered no comfort. Only truth. Demanded alignment. The pack whimpered softly. Some bowed their heads. Others clenched their jaws against the weight of realization. She stepped to the edge of the opening. Heat rushed up to meet her. The glow reflected in her eyes. Her reflection stared back altered. Not stronger. Clearer. The presence surged again. A massive limb of light and stone pressed upward from the depths. The chamber walls vibrated. Cracks raced outward through the clearing. The Alpha screamed then. Not in rage. In denial. The sound echoed briefly. Then dissolved into the hum of power rising from below. She felt the final barrier thinning. The boundary between service and command. Between silence and reckoning. The presence beneath the earth drew closer to the surface. Its full weight poised just below emergence. And the forest held its breath as the truth prepared to step into the moonlight. The moon dimmed as if veiled by an unseen hand. The clearing darkened. Not with shadow. With focus. Every sound narrowed toward the chamber mouth. Her breath echoed louder than the forest. The presence below pressed closer. Pressure bent the light around her legs. Heat licked up her spine. Her scars flared like embers exposed to wind. She tasted stone dust and old rain. The massive limb beneath the surface shifted again. Rock screamed as it scraped against rock. The chamber widened. Walls peeled back like ribs opening for breath. The glow intensified. It was no longer just light. Carried memory. Every service rendered in silence. Every night endured without recognition. She felt them stack inside her chest. Not as weight, as structure. The forest responded. Trees leaned inward further. Their roots knotted together around the clearing. Living seal. The pack huddled near the boundary. Their movements hesitant, uncoordinated, stripped of command. Some stared at her with wide eyes. Others stared at the ground, unable to meet what rose before them. The alpha remained on his knees. His shoulders shook. His breath rasped. Authority drained from him like blood from an open wound. He whispered her name. The sound barely carried. It reached her anyway. Stirred nothing. The presence beneath reacted sharply. The chamber pulsed. A wave of force rolled outward. The alpha collapsed forward. His forehead struck the earth. He did not rise. The ruined spine above him flared. Symbols rearranged themselves. Old law awakening. The presence spoke again. This time the pack understood. Not in language. In instinct. They felt the imbalance. Felt how long it had been ignored. Their bodies trembled as truth settled into bone. She felt their fear spike. Then something else. Relief. The kind that follows confession. The chamber surged upward another measure. The massive shape beneath began to reveal contours. A head formed from interlocking stone plates. Eyes ignited within the glow. Ancient. Unblinking. Focused entirely on her. The gaze pierced deeper than flesh. It measured her endurance. Her restraint. Her refusal to abandon the pack despite neglect. Her refusal to break. She inhaled slowly. The air burned. Her legs trembled. She stood. The stone beneath her rose higher, carrying her above the chamber rim. She now looked down into the glowing depths. The presence shifted. The stone guardian lifted itself further. Torso emerged. Massive. Carved by centuries of restraint. Runes crawled across its surface like living veins. Each symbol pulsed in rhythm with her heart. She realized the truth then. The guardian did not awaken because she left. It awakened because she endured. Leaving only revealed the fracture. The forest exhaled. A deep wind swept through the clearing. Leaves tore free from branches. They spiraled around her. Caught in the energy rising from the chamber. The pack cried out as one. Not in protest. In recognition. The guardian lifted one massive hand. Stone fingers spread slowly. Deliberately. Power radiated outward. The ground steadied beneath the pack. Their panic eased. Their breathing slowed. The guardian was not here to destroy. It was here to restore alignment. Her chest tightened painfully. Emotion surged. Anger. Grief. Years of invisibility. She did not speak. The guardian did not require words. It felt her truth clearly. The alpha lifted his head weakly. His eyes met hers again. For the first time there was no command behind them. Only plea. She did not respond. The stone platform shifted, guiding her closer to the guardian. Heat intensified. Her breath hitched. The runes on the guardian brightened as she neared. They mirrored the scars along her arms. Matching patterns. Matching path. The guardian lowered its head. Massive stone plates grinding softly. Its gaze leveled with hers. The pressure was immense. Her knees threatened to fold. She resisted. Barely. The guardian acknowledged the effort. Its presence softened a fraction. The chamber walls glowed brighter. Images flooded outward. Not only into her. Into the pack. They saw her nights alone on the ridge. Her bleeding hands wrapping wounds. Her warnings ignored. Her silence chosen to preserve unity. The alpha gasped. The vision struck him hardest. He saw himself turning away. Again and again. He cried out then. Not loudly. Broken. The guardian lifted its hand again. The chamber responded. Stone rose around the alpha, not imprisoning, elevating, forcing him to face what he avoided. The pack watched in stunned quiet. No one moved. No one dared. The guardian spoke through sensation once more. It demanded acknowledgement, not apology. Balance. The alpha bowed his head fully. His shoulders collapsed inward. He whispered surrender into the dirt. The guardian waited. Time stretched. Moonlight returned slowly. It slid across the clearing like a cautious witness. The forest remained tense. Roots still locked. Branches still bowed. The guardian did not withdraw. It assessed the pack. One by one. Some wolves lowered themselves. Others stood rigid. Fear clashed with pride. She felt it all. Their emotions brushed against her awareness. Unfiltered. She clenched her fists to steady herself. The guardian sensed the strain. Its presence shifted subtly. Supporting. Sharing weight. She realized then. This bond flowed both ways. She was not being claimed. She was being joined. The guardian extended one finger toward her. Low. Measured. The air vibrated violently. Her heart hammered. Instinct screamed caution. She held her ground. The finger stopped inches from her chest. Heat radiated. Her scars burned white. The runes on her skin glowed through fabric. The guardian pressed forward gently. Contact. Energy surged. Her breath left her in a sharp gasp. Pain flared. Then clarity. She saw the full history of the pack. Its founding. Its fractures. Its slow drift toward dominance over balance. She saw the guardian sealed beneath the earth. Waiting. Bound by ancient law to rise only when endurance surpassed neglect. Her endurance. The chamber shook violently. Power stabilized. The guardian straightened. Its eyes burned brighter. The forest responded with a deep resonant hum. The roots loosened slightly. Not retreating. Listening. The guardian turned its gaze to the pack. Judgment settled heavy. The alpha trembled. He bowed lower. The guardian extended its presence outward. Each wolf felt the weight of their role. Their duty. Their contribution to imbalance. Some howled softly. Others pressed foreheads to the ground. No one fled. They could not. Not from truth. The guardian returned its focus to her. Its presence pressed reassurance and expectation into her chest. She was not asked to lead. She was asked to stand. To exist without erasure. To allow balance to reform around her presence. The stone platform shifted again. Lowering her slightly. Bringing her closer to the pack level. Not below. Never again below. The alpha lifted his head slowly. His voice shook as he spoke her name again. This time with reverence. The guardian reacted instantly. The ground beneath the alpha cracked. A warning. He fell silent. Understanding at last. The forest wind surged. The chamber glowed steadily now. No longer rising. No longer threatening. Holding. Waiting. The guardian remained half emerged. Its full form still hidden. Its purpose not complete. She felt the weight of continuation. Of consequences yet to unfold. The pack shifted nervously. Time stretched again. The guardian did not retreat. It remained. Anchored. Wait. And beneath her feet, deeper than stone and memory, the bond continued to tighten, pulling future reckoning steadily closer without offering release. The night air thickened with anticipation. The clearing felt smaller. Compressed by watching eyes. The guardian remained still. Stone and light locked in quiet tension. Its presence pressed outward like a held breath. She felt it resonate through her ribs. Steady pull. Not demanding. Persistent. The pack shifted again. Unease rippled from wolf to wolf. They sensed change settling into permanence. No return to old silence. No retreat into comfort. The roots along the boundary loosened another fraction. Not release. Permission. The forest waited to see what would follow. She lowered her gaze briefly. The ground beneath her glowed faintly. Warm. Steady. supporting her weight without effort. She realized how long she had carried everything alone. The guardian absorbed some of that strain now. Her breathing slowed. Her thoughts sharpened. Clarity replaced exhaustion. The alpha shifted on his knees. His movements were cautious, measured. He no longer assumed space belonged to him. He studied her face as if seeing it for the first time. Lines of effort, marks of restraint, strength that never needed noise. His voice trembled when he spoke again. Not a command, not an order, a question shaped by fear and humility. The guardian reacted before sound fully formed. The air vibrated sharply. Pressure pinned his breath. The message was clear. Words were no longer required. The pack understood. Some stepped back instinctively. Others lowered their heads further. Hierarchy dissolved into awareness. The guardian turned slightly. Stone plates shifting with controlled weight. Surveyed the clearing again. Every living thing felt seen. Counted. The forest hummed low in response. Birds remained hidden. Predators held still. Even the wind moved carefully. She felt the guardian invite her attention inward. Memories surfaced again. Not of suffering alone, but of restraint. Moments when she chose silence to prevent fracture. Moments when she bore insult to keep peace. Those choices echoed now. Not as weakness, as foundation. The guardian acknowledged them fully. Energy flowed between stone and breath, between endurance and consequence. She felt steadier with every pulse. The scars along her arms cooled. They no longer burned. They glowed softly. Symbols of balance restored. The pack began to feel it too. The pressure eased slightly. Fear shifted into reverence. Understanding settled into bone. This moment marked them. None would forget. The alpha finally lifted his head fully. He did not rise. He remained low. Submission reshaped by awareness. His eyes glistened. He pressed his palm to the earth. Acknowledgement without words. The guardian accepted the gesture. The vibration eased another fraction. Not forgiveness. Recognition. The stone platform beneath her lowered a little more. Not to the ground. To a level where she could be heard. She chose. She remained silent. Silence carried weight now. The forest leaned back slightly. Branches eased. Roots relaxed. The boundary loosened enough to breathe. Still present. Still watchful. The guardian shifted again. Its unfinished emergence loomed. Promise. A warning. It would not withdraw easily. Balance once broken demanded vigilance. She felt the truth settle deep. Her leaving had cracked the surface. Her endurance had awakened what slept. Now presence would decide what followed. The pack waited. Instinct held them frozen. They sensed something unfinished. Something approaching. The guardian extended its awareness beyond the clearing. Through forest. Through stone. Through distant ridges. It tasted the land. Searching for imbalance elsewhere. She felt the reach stretch through her chest. A connection forming wider than the pack. The forest whispered softly. Leaves brushing. Roots shifting. The land remembered guardianship. It responded eagerly. The alpha felt it too. His shoulders sagged further. Responsibility pressed heavier than dominance ever had. The guardian remained unmoved by remorse alone. Endurance had summoned it. Consistency would keep it dormant or awake. She sensed the future pulling taut. Not decided. Not forgiven. Only opened. The chamber beneath the clearing pulsed steadily. Heartbeat set into stone. The guardian stayed half risen. Watching. Listening. Waiting to see whether acknowledgement would transform into action. And as the moon climbed higher, casting long shadows across the silent pack, the weight of what had been unleashed continued to settle deeper into the forest, refusing closure and pressing onward toward whatever balance would be demanded next. The guardian lowered its head slowly. Stone plates sealed with a final measured breath. The glow softened. Not gone. Anchored. The chamber walls settled. The earth closed without erasing the memory. Roots withdrew to their places. Not hiding. Remembering. The forest exhaled at last. Night sounds returned one by one. Crickets, wind, distant water over rock. The pack remained still. Changed in posture. Changed in weight. No one spoke. They no longer needed to. She stepped down from the stone. The ground met her gently. Cool. Steady. The alpha stayed low as she passed. Not out of fear. Out of understanding. She did not look back. She did not need to. The forest knew her now. So did the pack. Moonlight followed her steps toward the trees. Not guiding. Witnessing. Behind her balance held. Ahead the path opened. And for the first time her silence was not absence but choice.